Chris Thomas, 30-second fly fishing tips. Today we're going to talk a little bit about bass fishing. Okay, so this is my bass fly box. Okay, a little bit different than most people would think. Let me get it up here so you can see it. And I've got my typical spun deer hair flies that are like poppers. There's one. I like it a lot. Can you see that? Maybe see it better over here. Okay. I got my mice. In fact, I've got a couple different mice. Here's one with a trimmed body and a weed guard. There's a weed guard on that. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get it a little better. There you go. Okay, and here's one that is more, the hair is spun and left long. Again, it has a weed guard on it. I like weed guards because I want the fly to be able to go through the roughest crap that I can send it through. Okay, and then some of the other ones I really like, if I want to fish streamers, I use articulated streamers. Articulated streamers are streamers that are basically split in half and there's two hooks on them. I like yellow and I like orange a lot. A lot of times I think the orange looks like, let me get on this side, the orange looks like crawdads. But I really like those kind of flies, and those are some of the main patterns that I use. Okay, now when you fish for bass, you do two things. Generally, I fish from a pontoon boat or something along those lines, and you want to cast inside. You want to cast towards the shore. You want to cast into the worst stuff you can find. Try to use, unless you're using streamers, you want to try and use flies with weed guards, and you want them to hit into the brush. You want to pull them through the brush. You want to pull them through the weeds. You want to hit the holes in the moss, and you want to use a short leader. When you're fly fishing for bass, if you use a short leader of 5 feet long, that's great. And it needs to be about 1-2x. If you're down in Texas where they're really big, or Florida, you might use OX tippet or leader. And if you get shorter than 5 feet, you can use straight line. You could use O, which is 11-pound mono. You could just use 11-pound. You could even use a little bit bigger than that if you had to. You could go to 20 on really big flies for really big bass. But that's how you fish for bass, and that's just some of the basics, so you know it. Thanks.